Let's get this going. Okay. All right, guys, welcome. I am going to be launching an online football course within the next 5 days. This will be going live online. And this is something that I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. And it's been very interesting over the last week where I have been asking questions with people, trying to figure out what they want to know in terms of the professional football world. And I also just came back from London where I was at the Brentford game, which I was invited to, and a lot of fans there were very open-minded to find out about this information, but also gave a lot of feedback on what they'd like to hear as well. Now, this course that I'm going to be launching isn't specifically just for football. Yes, if you are a parent with a child, if you are a teenager, if you're semi-pro, professional, or if you're a fan, manager, or a coach that's teaching children especially, then you're going to identify with this course in a very big way. And it's something that I think will definitely add value to your journey, in whichever part of the system of football that you're in. However, outside of football and in sport and in business, this will definitely help too. To give you guys a background on myself, because many of you don't know me that well, I'm 41 years old. I have 3 children. 2 of them are 16 and 13, and my most recent son is just over 1 year old. It kind of spurred me on to do this course from having my son, but also many people have been asking me to write a book or become a coach or a manager, of which I know I could do, but I didn't feel the timing was right, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do. Now, with technology and the way that it's transformed, being able to do this course and have everybody in a group chat with me afterwards has been absolutely ideal, and I think it's something that will benefit all parties. So a brief background on me then. So my parents are working class parents, probably my dad or my mum will be online, and they're still working today. Dad's 74, mum's 72, 73 next week, I believe, next month. And so they're working class parents. From the age of around 5, 6, 7 years old, I believe, is when I really was addicted to kicking the football around. My dad and my mum had split up when I was 4 years old. My dad lived in Watford. The back of his house backed onto a cemetery, which then you go through the cemetery and you're at Vicarage Road, Watford's football pitch. And as I started to get older, I used to use the tombstones at Watford Cemetery to play football. Yeah. At 6, 7, I started really getting serious about playing for a local team, Amersham Town. And then at 8 years old, I was scouted by Crystal Palace. My mum and dad never interfered at all. They never told me what I should do or how I should do it. They were not the parent on the side shouting. They literally just supported me where I needed it. And they just let the universe do its thing. And so I was scouted at 8 years old. There was around 50, 60 children in that region. And my mum used to drive me every Monday and Thursday evening to training for Crystal Palace. And each year they'll keep certain amount on, and there'll be 60 that will go to 50, that will go to 40, that will go to 30. And by the time you get to around 14, 15, you get an idea if they're going to give you an apprenticeship to join the academy. And so my mum used to drive me all the time. We used to play every Sunday, but I never wanted to lose the fun of playing for my Sunday league team. So they used to drive me to Crystal Palace at 11 a.m. kickoff on a Sunday, and then come back and play for my Sunday league team around 2 p.m., 3 p.m. on a Sunday as well. So I played 2 games in a row, which I know now they're very, very harsh on. If you're 10 to 14 years old, they really try and get rid of that. And I was able to do it. My mum made a lot of sacrifices, my dad too, but my mum predominantly made a lot of sacrifices driving me around, which actually I think impacted her relationship as well. And during that period from around 10 years old to 15 years old, a lot of things happened. I was not the fastest. I was not the most skillful. There were many players better than me who I don't know of anymore. I went on England trials from the age of under 11, under 12 to around under 14, under 15. Never made it through to England underage officially. There were players like Defoe, Lescott, and many other good players that were there. But I was always kept on at Crystal Palace. And one of the things I noticed was that they gave us homework. They really did it in a different way. They're very innovative at the time. And so that really helped with me understanding and learning the game. Around 15, I can't remember when you leave school, 15, 16, I was offered an apprenticeship and I left home. I was living in Buckinghamshire. I then moved to South London in Croydon, which is a huge cultural difference. And I was moved into digs and had to share a room with somebody and live in somebody's house that I'd never met before. And that's when I really was put into the world of the professional game and the academy, where you're training every single day. This was amazing, absolutely amazing. I loved it. We got paid as well weekly. I remember my weekly pay was around 100, I think it was £90 a week. Can you believe it? And travel card was included with it. But this was also the point where I started to see the seriousness of it. A lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and also my first real injury where at 17 years old, I had to have an operation, have some of my cartilage cut away, and I got a lot of tendonitis. So there's a lot of things that tested me. I made many mistakes at that age. Around 18, I was asked to play for Wales, even though I was born in the UK. I was very patriotic and believing that I should play for the country I was born in. However, that was a very big mistake that I made, because it would have opened up more doors if I would have played for a country, and I was offered to play for the under-21s and I turned it down for Wales. And again, these life lessons from the game are something that I'm going to be able to help share with you guys on this course. I changed clubs once. I made my debut at around 19, 20 years old, Crystal Palace, in front of around 15 to 20,000 people. I was nowhere near ready. I was thrown in the deep end. I don't know if it was a manager's choice or a chairman's choice, but it was something that really opened my eyes to understanding that I wasn't ready. And then every 2 years after that, I changed clubs. I played for clubs like Leyton Orient. I played for Shrewsbury. I played for, wow, I had a mind blank there. I played for Oxford United. I played for Brentford. I played for many clubs. And I've had many different experiences traveling the UK. I've been offered to play in Scotland. I've been offered to play San Jose Earthquakes as well, of which turned down. So there's been a lot of interesting things going on. During that period, I had my first child at 24 years old, which is very young. I had one season where I had a 6-game ban, 16 yellows and 3 red cards within one season. Quite crazy. As I said, even as I was getting older, I was never in the fastest groups for running. I was never one of the strongest. I was never the most skillful, for sure. So during that time, I managed to have 4 promotions and no relegations. So something must have been working. We reached the FA Cup twice in the 5th round. 5th round, we played against Stoke and Manchester United at Old Trafford. And the career, if you look at it, I scored a lot of goals through set pieces. I wasn't the most attacking player, but definitely had a career that I can share the experience. So I retired around 31, 32 years old. It was a big mistake doing that. I wish I would have tried to stay in the professional game longer. I ended up being near enough broke. Nobody taught me how to manage money. And I understand why now, because most professional footballers come from working class backgrounds who my mum and dad are still working today. So how can they teach me how to be wealthy if they're not wealthy themselves? And I started to understand that as the last 10 years of being retired. So when I came out of football, I didn't know what to do, and went on kind of a pilgrimage trying to figure it out, and ended up having with a business partner at the time who really helped me. We launched over 30 football academies or soccer schools around the UK within a 6-month period. I think we had over 350 children signed up, and I absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. And I knew that was not my calling. However, it was an experience that I understood straight away, which again, why I know that some of you that are coaches listening to this, that this is definitely going to help you. So looking back, I did well. I look back and appreciate how fortunate I am, but I always wonder, with the knowledge that I have now, if I could go back in time, what would I have done differently? And that's what this course is going to explain to you. It's going to explain what I would do as a plan. If you have a child that's within 1 to 3 years old, I will explain to you on this course what I would do personally. If you have a child that's coming through that phase of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and playing for the Sunday league and they're not too sure what to do, I believe this course is going to add benefit to you as a parent and for the child. If your child is maybe somebody that is in their teens and maybe they're in an academy or semi-professional, then this definitely is going to help you. if you're a professional, I truly believe that if you dissect the accountability side of things here, I think this will probably have the most benefit for a professional, especially a young, upcoming professional. But still, you can never be too young to learn. Maybe you're a coach or a manager, then I think this will definitely be fun to watch and learn, and you'll take percentages from it. And if you're a fan, I think you're probably going to enjoy this the most. Will you take the information and use it? I don't believe so, as much as a 15-year-old academy player. But if you're a fan, I've got a whole section on fans, the club that you play for, the culture that's created, and just like I said, coming back from Brentford and them giving me the gift of a cap, a bit like an England cap, of being the 835th player to sign for them. Just the culture they created there is one of the reasons why I just have so much admiration and love for them. Okay, so I think this is really going to help a lot of people. Now, disclaimer, there's no guarantee you're going to be a better player from it. There's an element of luck always included in sport, especially, but the harder you work, I seem to find the more luck you have. But you're going to have access to the course. You'll then have access to a Discord group chat that I will be participating in. If you want to have access to more than that, then there are ways that you can book one-on-one 1-hour calls with me, and there are ways that you can be part of a membership plan for subscriptions, have even more access to more information on a weekly basis. And then if you're looking at other avenues outside of football as well, then there's a lot of things that you can touch on and see that I have access to. I truly believe that you're going to become better from this. I do. The information and experiences that I've had, I actually have an ex-teammate, Joe O'Carroll, his son, Junior. I watched him do what I wish I had done with my child at 1 year old if I had a boy at the time. And he taught him exactly, I remember discussing this once with him, but he taught him exactly what he would have done if he could have gone back in time. His son is now, I believe, 10 or 11, signed for Manchester United, has a Nike deal. So his son is kind of a template of what I believe that can be taught. Unfortunately, a lot of parents out there don't know what to teach, okay? You're going to learn what I would do to add my thoughts on how to build the foundations of a child. Let me just see so I can see this is falling. There you go. The mindset, the technical side of things, how to build up repetition and become a more technically better player and a stronger player in mind. Let me just move this a second. Okay. Oh, you should be able to see now. Perfect. How to create the right body. I believe there's a certain type of body to be created for this. Obstacles and setbacks, injuries, and things that are going to come up. Managers out of favor or losing form as a player, how to overcome that. Branding. This is one of the biggest things that I see celebrities and professional athletes fail on because they are not taught how to actually build a brand. They're taught what to politically say, but they're not taught how to build a brand. And this is something that I definitely know that I could add value to. How to come up against agents, managers, contracts, and what to expect. A deeper look at the fans, as I said, and their understanding of the culture. Money management is a huge thing that I know that I can definitely add value to a lot of people now because I've made mistakes and we figured that one out. And how to stay in love with the beautiful game. How to stay in love with the beautiful game that I fell out of love with. The career as a professional athlete is very small. And so it's all about prolonging those years to maximize the most that you can get out of it. And for me, if my professional career was only around 14 to 16 years, I wish I could have gone back and done things differently. And that is why I put this course together, guys. So if that's of interest to you, stay tuned this week, this weekend and Monday, Tuesday, and I'll be launching this course. There will be a January special price. And then as of February onwards, there'll be the normal price going forward. And like I said, there'll be other things that you'll have access to, like my group chats, one-on-one calls, and more so if you need that. I'm here to try and give as much value as possible. And I believe this is the way that we're going to be able to do it. So with that being the case, I look forward to seeing you on that journey. I look forward to seeing you on the course, and I look forward to seeing your feedback. And if there are things that you would like me to try and really focus on that you think would help, then make sure you comment, try and get in touch with me on social media, and I'll add as much value as I can. All right, guys.